Hang on. God, it tastes good, doesn't it? You know what it tastes like, mate? It tastes like freedom. We've just beaten Norwich 4-0 away from home in, well, third to last game of the season. And quite frankly, it was such a great professional performance. It was a real improvement on what we saw on Wednesday night, where there was a lack of creativity and there was poor defending. Really, from minute go, we looked like we were up for the game. You know, the usual suspects: Bowen, Antonio, as we'll talk about in a minute, Rice, all up for the game, all looking really positive. There was some slight concerns in the way that the fullbacks were defending, very much still tucking in too much and giving Norwich a bit of width. But Norwich are a poor team, and I do feel sorry for them for going down. But if you can't, you know, take your chances when they're there, and I thought Pukki and Buendia did cause us a few issues, and Hernandez as well was a good player for them. But the quality told from the set pieces. You know, the first one, it's a brilliant cross from Bowen, who's been fantastic from set pieces since he's come in. Obviously, Diop's come with a nice little flick. And Antonio, the finish as well, was so calm and it was concise and it was succinct and it was bash and it was such a sick goal. I loved it. Obviously, then we start growing into the game. It's still a cagey affair because, you know, Norwich could get back into it. They've got some dangerous players. But I thought from the ball from Noble for the second was sublime. And you see in that whole game the way you've got, I believe it's Closer and Godfrey, and Antonio just found his way through both of them, and a little flick on, and it was too good. And he looked like a real striker today, really dangerous from those, you know, aerial threats. And listen, it was absolutely, I've said it before, say it again, stupendous. Second half, it seemed like Norwich, their heads went down, and if your head goes down against Mark Noble when he's decided he's going to sort of get in a bit of form again, you're going to lose. And that ball over the top was brilliant. You know, what I realised is when I watched Norwich play, they split their centre-backs. And you split your centre-backs against Mikel Antonio, you are screwed. And he just runs straight through and power, pace. Even the finish wasn't even that great, but he was so alive to it. Bashed header in, brilliant. And then from the third goal, West Ham started knocking it around. You know, we looked really comfortable. One tactical thing that I noticed was Creswell and Fredericks kept their width, which I think made it difficult for Norwich to find any space. The midfield was really compact. Noble was pressing them. Just for the record, I don't endorse Noble playing a number 10 role, but it kept the pressure on them and it made them try and work out for the back and go long where they weren't going to win it in midfield. And then, you know, pressure just told. We got that fourth goal from a brilliant bit of play down the right hand side. Lovely little ball, I believe, possibly from Souček, or it was Noble. It was Noble again. Noble plays it over. Fredericks keeps his composure. He had a bit of a bad first half, and I was the first to rib him for that. But he kept his head, looked up, and played a beautiful little ball in. And Antonio with just a delicate little finish past Krul. And you know, it must have been a good day because Moyes made 5 subs, which was unbelievable. And I was calling on him to make those subs because it was so important that he did that. And he gave the right players the rest. And we won. I can't believe we beat them 4-0. We beat them 4-0. Unbelievable. I'm so buzzing. Let's look at the men of the match, the key players. Mikel Antonio, you know, do I believe he's a striker? No. But on that performance today, he played that striker role so well. And even when he was moving out to the left, he was causing them issues. He was a threat. He's one of them players that Norwich who've been poor from set pieces and defensively all season. When you put Antonio against them, they're going to struggle because of his pace, because of his power, because of his ability just to get on a little nick or a little chance and create something for himself. And the finishing, I think, and they were all good finishes. They were all good finishes. The first was particularly good for him. You know, it's easy to sky that or panic, but he was just calm, composed. And we saw it against Newcastle, the same type of self. Bang, straight in. Brilliant from him, and he deserves it. I'm so happy for him. He's worked so hard. He's been one of our best players since we've come back. And listen, he deserves it. And potentially a runner-up, maybe winner of Hammer of the Year, just because of the way he's performed. Then we've got to talk about Noble, because he was getting a lot of pelters for going back into the side. Personally, I wouldn't have played him, but I did consider that maybe it was a game that he would benefit from, given how poor Norwich are, given their lack of press, given they're not a very physical team in the midfield. And Noble showed that when you give him space, he can punish you with good long balls, and he did it. You know, he contributed to 3 of the goals. I thought he was very, very good. I don't think he offered anything massively different because it wasn't a physical game. But when it told him what he needed to do, he really was there, and he just, you know, he created most of the chances. So you got to give the skipper the credit where he deserves it. And yeah, one other thing as well. Jared Bowen was brilliant again today. Look at the bloke's consistency. It's phenomenal since he's come into the side, and you know, it's very difficult to come from a championship team with a different, you know, level of player and different style of play to come in and really hit the ground running. But what he offers defensively, what he offers going forward, he's unlucky not to get goals. He seems to be striking up a little bit of a partnership with Antonio. You see the runs off each other, that will come. And yeah, I can't wait to see him next season. So let's just drink it in. Looks like we're going to be safe, boys. Come on, you Irons.